What, Samuel Taylor?
I'm Mia Wright.
Okay.
I present the report of the Primary Production Committee on its inquiry into how the primary industries can prepare for issues that arise from climate change. Firstly, I would like to thank the committee members, staff and presenters. I'm sure all of the committee can agree that it was an enlightening experience filled with great discussions. I will briefly explain what we covered, but I would first like to acknowledge that the primary industries is very large, and the question, how can the primary industries prepare for the issues that arise from climate change, is quite broad. After discussing as a committee and listening to our oral submitters, we decided to focus primarily on agriculture. New Zealand primary industries are crucial to the country's prosperity and well-being as a whole, as farmers and producers contribute significantly to the country's gross domestic product. Furthermore, we heard evidence from Dairy New Zealand that some farmers may struggle adapting to rapidly changing regulations, and their mental well-being could be impacted by the pace at which climate change and mitigation strategies affect their business. Our recommendation is that the government help facilitate farmer-to-farmer conversations. This will help farmers and producers share information with one another about rapidly changing policy settings. It will also help fill knowledge gaps relating to the project impacts of climate change on these affected groups. We also recommend that farmers and producers liaise with the government to drive collaborative discussions between the two, helping to inform future policy emulations and generate recommendations from farmers to government. We were advised that New Zealand currently lacks a long-term sustainable plan in regards to adapting to the impacts of climate change within primary productions. We recommend that the government facilitates a citizens' assembly where members of the public are informed about the impacts of climate change on primary industries and help inform policy and regulation that also uses collaborative networks and the impact of scientific experts to set a long-term goal which can help New Zealand prepare for issues arising from climate change. We were informed that farmers and producers face a high amount of farm debt in New Zealand and that this may hamper their ability to keep up with rapidly evolving regulatory framework. We recommend that the implementation of a scheme by which farmers are financially rewarded for using land unsuited or unused for the planting of environmentally friendly crops, such as hemp. Farmers and producers could also receive subsidised accessible education in order to further encourage land usage change and which areas they are interested in moving into. We were informed that there are some low-cost innovations that could be implemented to help primary industries prepare for climate change. We recommend that the government invest more in both low-cost and high-cost to provide more data on the impacts of climate change and also to help mitigate those impacts. We recommend that the government invests in research grants and subsidies for professionals in academics and science to examine the future impacts of climate change on the primary sector. Finally, we recommend that the government should finance research into environmentally friendly crop. In conclusion, I would like to thank my committee, the submitters and the clerks who wrote the report. The primary productions will be heavily involved in future climate change resolution. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mia.
Madam Speaker.
Can I just check my order to help me, because I can't see your names. I don't know all your names. I might know the MPs' names, but I don't know all your names, and I don't want to embarrass anyone. So you're
Samuel
Foreign
Taylor.
Affairs.
Yes.
So we've got Foreign Affairs, then Health, then Justice. Is that right?
We don't have a list.
We haven't been given an order.
Oh, okay. So you're just standing up, are you? Okay.
Would you like us to take an order?
It would help me if there was an order, and then I would know who I am. But I know you're Samuel Taylor, so let's go. And
Fantastic.
what I'll do is I'll call a name for the select committee. How does that work?
Brilliant.
Everyone happy with that? Okay. So I call Samuel Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I now present the report of the Foreign